I've always hated the water levels in video games. Whether it's a platformer, a first-person shooter, or everything in between, they've never appealed to me. So when I heard about an entire survival game that was a water level, I didn't think too much of it. Fast forward into the future, and it's not only one of my favorite survival games of all time, but one of my favorite horror games as well. So hello everyone, my name is Shmenty, and this is my tribute to Subnautica. Subnautica is a survival game, set on an alien planet, where your ship has crashed in a massive ocean. There's no land in sight, and although the story does force you to find it eventually, the game is not only a water level, but a water world. Yes, you live inside either an escape pod or a base that you make, but at the end of the day, you gather resources, hunt, and survive, all underwater. The developers of Subnautica were inspired by quite a few things, such as James Cameron's cinematography on Titanic, the video game Minecraft, and just scuba diving in general. There's a quote from him that goes something along the lines of just exploring the deep, vast, terrifying, dark blue. The game was originally added as an exploration game with no food or hunger mechanics, but after some pre-release reviews, the devs added those mechanics to turn it into a full survival game. The game was put on Steam Early Access in 2014 and was put on the Xbox One preview in 2016. This is about the time I found out about the game. Along with most of the world, I was infatuated with survival games from around 2015 to 2018, and Subnautica was released right in the middle of it. I didn't play it on Xbox until roughly 2016, but when I did, I fell in love. Despite my general dislike of water levels, that does not mean I dislike water. Water in video games is such a large part of the graphic design for me, whether that's using shaders in Minecraft or just playing a game with generally good water mechanics. And of all the games I've played, Subnautica's water is simply the best. Take one leap off the escape pod and you'll be immersed with a gorgeous, vibrant world, filled with fish and looking like an alien coral reef. It was honestly astonishing to me at a time where I didn't really care about graphics all that much. But the graphics weren't the only thing that stood out to me. Subnautica's gameplay is, well, hard to describe. It has the basis of a story-driven game, but plays more like an open world, choose-your-own-adventure type of thing. Look, I like both, but given the option, I will always enjoy having a living, breathing, open world to a story-driven game. This next part might have some spoilers, so if you want to click ahead, I'll give you the timestamp in the description below. The game is set in the 22nd century. Humans are colonizing other solar systems, and your ship is meant to go and build some weird futuristic technology in deep space. It gets shot down over this planet, 4546b. You search for other survivors that also dropped in escape pods, but over the course of the game it's revealed that all of them have died for various reasons. From here, you begin exploring the vast map, from the safe shallows to deep caves with creatures of unfathomable size. The end goal of the game is to not only cure the planet and cure yourself from a mysterious disease cured only by the Sea Emperor Leviathan, but at the end of the game, you build a rocket for yourself and begin to fly home. Now, that sounds like a fun story, but it doesn't exactly sound too difficult, is what I hear you say. And to that, I can bring up 2 points. Number 1, the game doesn't give you any weapons, and number 2, you are far from alone on this planet. The fauna, and even some of the flora, is a mix of friendly and hostile animals. And when I say hostile, I mean extremely hostile. From the stalkers of the kelp forest to the massive ghost leviathans in the void, the world is filled with things that want you dead quickly. But most of them are stuck in my mind permanently. And this brings me into my next point. I've been scared in countless games before, from phasmophobia to first-person shooters like Escape from Tarkov, but Subnautica does it in a way that I can't really match with any other game. The screech of a Reaper Leviathan behind my Seamoth is something I will never forget my entire life. And it's just perfect. I keep coming back to Subnautica not just because of the beautiful world design, the plant and the sea life, the animals, and swimming. I come back to it to get that experience again, to really comprehend what makes this game so special to me. It's not the graceful leviathans that are gliding over the safe shallows, and it's not the massive, terrifying leviathans when you go off the edge of the map. No, this game just looks and feels alive. There is not a single moment that I've played this game and I can't see a fish around me. There's not a single moment that I feel like I am truly alone in an underwater abyss. It is gorgeously crafted, and I can't find that game, and I can't find this style in any other game I've ever played. You see, Subnautica has some of the scariest looking creatures I've ever seen in any video game, and some of the best sound design I've ever heard in any video game. Combine those two, and what do you get? Horrifying screams of animals 100 times larger than you. But of all of them, the Reaper Leviathan has to be the scariest. Here's a clip of what its call sounds like at close proximity. Yeah, imagine being in a small submarine and hearing that right behind you. Not exactly the calmest experience I've ever had. Pair this with the game forcing you to encounter these monolithic beings for the story, and you've got yourself some terrifying experiences you'll remember for a long time. It's the love and dedication that the devs put into the game that really sets it apart for me, but some of the reasons are a little controversial, and more so than others. I've mentioned before that the game doesn't give you any weapons except a diving knife, and there's a reason behind that. The developers were sick of gun violence in America and decided not to have any guns in the game. Despite my personal views and the views of gamers everywhere, I don't see the fact that there's no guns in the game as a bad thing. Honestly, it adds to the horrifying nature of the game, just because you can't kill everything that comes at you. Now, I completely disagree with the politicization of video games, as do I think a lot of people, but it never stopped me from playing and loving this game. The game is no stranger to love, and with all of the games that I make videos on, it's got extremely high reviews. By January 2020, the game has over 5.3 million purchases across all platforms, and a Nintendo Switch version is set to come out in 2021. This game made Unknown Worlds, the developer, into a large company, and in 2018 at the Golden Joystick Awards, the game won Best PC Game of the Year and the company won the Breakthrough Award. Subnautica got its sequel in early 2019, and it's currently in early access. Subnautica Below Zero is an Arctic version of Subnautica set in a much colder spot of the planet. Now, I haven't tried the game yet, and I'm kinda hoping that Epic eventually puts it up for free on their store. So when that time comes, who knows, maybe I'll love it so much that this game will get a tribute for itself. The few things I do know is that, 1, it's less scary than the original Subnautica. Take what you will from that, but I also know that there's a lot more land-based exploration as well. The game is not finished yet, and I'm guessing it won't be finished anytime soon, but I can only assume it'll come out in 2021 or 2022 max. The reviews aren't as good as the original, but I'm optimistic to try it out one day. Until then, however, I'll have to be satisfied with the original Subnautica, and trust me, I don't think that's going to be a problem. This game represents more than just a survival game for me. It changed my outlook on water levels, created a love for being scared when I play games, and overall just takes me back to a simpler time. Like most of the games from my past, I rarely play it anymore, but whenever I hop out of that cursed escape pod, a smile crosses my face every single time. The gameplay, the graphics, the animals, it all wraps up into a beautiful game that I highly recommend everyone tries. If you haven't checked out Subnautica, please go try it. It's a masterpiece and I can't recommend it enough. I'm looking to start making some viewer tributes, and I've been trying to figure out what I could do with it and how I would actually incorporate it, because a lot of the things you guys are going to want tributes to, I don't really have personal experiences with. So my whole idea was that I would create a new kind of series called Viewer Tributes. You would leave your ideas in the comments below, and the one with the most likes would win, and I'd create a video on that. I wouldn't really talk about my personal memories or nostalgia with it unless I did have some, but instead I would focus on what makes whatever you talk about so good. If you guys like this idea, please let me know in the comments. I'm really interested in trying it out, and I think that it could really help grow this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and for all the continued love and support this channel is seeing. I appreciate it more than you could ever understand, and I can't wait to make more content for you soon. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like, and if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe with notifications so you'll never miss an upload. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Shmenty, and I'll see you in the next one.